Welcome back to the Gears Winter Major. What a matchup we have on our hands at this point in time. It's going to be an amazing time. I'm Taylor Reflections. I'm joined by Guy Blaze. Check it out. We have Rise versus VQ,
Yes.
two teams that are very storied. VQ, the #1 team without question, but Rise, I would think a lot of people would say that probably deserve or should be in the grand finals or top 4. How you feeling about this one?
Oh, I'm so damn excited for this matchup. Two of the best teams all season long are about to battle it out, and I think this is a top 12 position for them. They win this one, they go on over towards the semis, and that's where you want to be. Guarantee yourself top 6 and some extra money there in your pockets. We saw VQ versus Rise, so we didn't get a chance to see it. We saw the score line of it, and VQ completely dominated Rise in a 2-0 yesterday in Swiss play. But Rise, man, they are a team that makes adjustments all season for the major, and I know they watched that matchup again last night and made adjustments going into it. I just hope they made the right ones, and we're about to see what one of the best IGLs can do against one of his toughest competitions.
And it is going to be tough competition without question. Franchise is going to have to go massive. Avexys is also going to have to back them up. The entire Rise roster now, I think it's fair to say, are the underdogs. When Ribs bets against his own team, well, I say his own team, I say that very lightly, but of Rise, you know something's going on here. But VQ looks unstoppable without question. The only team that was able to show that they could bleed so far in the Winter Major was Noble, being so very close to almost taking them out. Of course, 1 round short, which came down to Forge, the 27th round between the two during that series. It's going to be an interesting one, but you know what? Let's talk about the series. You know, we do have training grounds. We have Vasgar, and we have Forge. I think we're both in agreement that, you know what, if VQ wins this training grounds map, which is going to be a tough one versus Rise, which I feel is the favored one, believe it or not, going into this map, it could be a 2-0. But if Rise wins this map, I think we're going to game 3 because Vasgar is the next map up.
I think this is if Rise wins, it's going to be a 3-game series for sure. They have to start off hot, take training grounds. This is their best map, folks, and VQ doesn't get too many reps on this map here. They are a talented team, and when we go to map number 2, Vasgar, Rise really haven't won that map. VQ undefeated on that map, so this is why it's so important for Rise to take this one now, and they're off to a damn good start, Taylor.
Yeah, fantastic start. Look, VQ only has Reptilian. He knows exactly where he needs to go. That's going to be the home hill. Try and fend off the Rise push, but these are long respawns. It's the first round. With Reptilian falling, it's going to put Vital 7 and Acells now in an awkward position, forced to go through the smoke and try and get Rise off the field. They do get some touches, but is it going to be short-lived? I think it might be. Icy at the forefront, getting some nice kills, and that is going to be it. And so does Avexys too. Look, he was right there by his side. The knife is out, and you know what, Rise? A quick victory, 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Yeah, good job there to the entire team of Rise, fortifying on top of that home hill. Icy had trust in his teammates. Vanquish could not make it there in time. So, off to the races here. This series, man, is about to deliver, folks. Strap in. Let us know who you want to win. I asked you guys earlier. I saw a lot of VQ in the chat, a few Rises here and there. If you would have told me this last season that some of y'all would have flipped the way that y'all did, I would never have expected that one, okay? But Rise, they gotta earn your trust back. They've had a difficult season so far, but now is the time for them to make up for whatever woes they had during the Pro League. And we're seeing Vanquish send 3 members towards the Overlook side of the map. Rise will also do the same.
Acells getting chunked by Inzem. Another one over just around the corner. It's going to be Hndles now, as we do see him take down Inzem, but of course he can't get the finish. He's got players just below him too, so he's forced to retreat all the way back as Rise is now forcing the issue on the overextension. They will be successful, but they did lose B. So VQ, they're going to hold on to the neutral as long as they can, plan their attack. Do they go for their own home hill, or do they overextend for A? I think their own home hill is going to be the safer bet.
It's definitely going to be the safer bet, and they recognize that a player was coming off respawn as well. If it wasn't one coming off respawn, they may have chose to go towards their opponent's home hill, but this is about to be a bloodbath on Vanquish's home right now, as they do have 4 members in this area. They got 1 dropping back to support. They're going to get the first kill. Nice dodge there by Precision, not to get too close to the edge. He relies on his teammate. They pick up 3 kills. Now Avexys and Icy, they're going to be waiting, trying to hold off VQ in. Icy is going to force Hndles to kill his teammate there, putting the pressure on these guys. EQ, they get 2 heals back to their name, and they're going to start cutting his deficit down.
And the deficit is, in fact, being cut down. Look, VQ, impressive retake, exactly what they needed. Rise going for the overextension. You can see it on the minimap. You know exactly where they're going, and it leaves it up to Precision and Hndles to try and stop them in their tracks. Luckily, Acells is able to join them. They know it's going to be a 2v2 at most on B. They've counted the numbers, so they're well ahead of the game. The IGL of Rise Fran will fall to Hndles, and that's going to stop their push momentarily. For Rushiez, Icy, as well as Inzem, they're going to take their time. They're going to wait a second and then push forward if they can. But for the most part, VQ's happy with this. They're going to continue to acquire a lead.
And Hndles, you saw him kind of rotate out of harm's way there. That just kind of tells me that VQ is going to solidify in his defensive setup, and they're trying to gather the intel on where Rise is going to push. Now, with the shift coming over from Icy, Acells is going to be able to give his team a call out to say, hey, guys, be worried at B, but they already got their hands full as Rise is pushing them through B Street. Reptilian trying to hold off as long as he can. He's finally going to get taken out, but VQ, they're going to push out under the underpass, go for the home hills, and keep this lead.
All right, Rise, this is your chance. You're getting too close to the loss, but everywhere I look, VQ is there, and they're going to be on Alpha locking it in. I do believe one hill might... No, that's not going to have the win condition. Nope, so Rise is going to have it. So this is the thing. VQ now has to get to work, and they're looking to do so, but Fran is going big. Precision will drop. The 1-2 punch takes him down. He needs to take down Reptilian, but falls a bit short, and that will result in VQ taking the round. Tied up 1-1.
3-minute round right there. Hard fought round there from Vanquish. And like you say, we're all tied up 1-1. What VQ did great early on was, you know, after winning their fight over at Overlook, they locked in that 2-1 hill setup. Now, Rise ended up beating them. They overextended towards that home hill. VQ had a great retake. And then from that moment on, they really didn't press too much because they recognized how many members of Rise was over at the U and the Overlook, and they had B locked in already. And once they got that kill, I believe it was on Fran, Rise had to wait for him to come off respawn, and VQ was able to get multiple win conditions there in the late round of round 2.
All right, to the start of round number 3. Respawn's looking pretty good, other than Fran at 3 out of 4 rushes. But hey, come on, you can't really count that against them. See how this works out is VQ is going to take the early advantage onto B, but Rise is doing a good job trying to push them back. Having that Overlook position is going to be beneficial, and Inzem knows this. He's going to be able to Lancer out on the neutral, but the reality is Rise had some losses, and now they're going to force a 1v2 onto Alpha. For Acells, he's thinking about rotating over if he can, but hey, Reptilian might be able to get this by himself. Look at the downs. He just needs to get the finishes. Here comes the cavalry, and if Reptilian can win this, that is massive. Luckily, Acells comes in, and that overextension is no more.
Taylor, I thought you knew by now. VQ never fights alone. They are never by themselves. They hit a beautiful cross coming through from heaven. Reptilian was in a perfect spot. He hit his spread, and now his squad is going to start to take over this Overlook unless Rushiez can slow him down, and he will. Now, VQ still got 2 hills to their name. B's not getting broken anytime soon, and Hndles is just going to have to wait here and hold off until his teammates come off respawn. But with just 3 members on the map compared to Rise's 4, VQ is doing a good job holding off for now. And Rise is now going to start to decap this B hill, but we'll see how long they can keep that. And also, if they can even get a win condition off of 2 hills.
Seems as if they won't be able to. I don't think they do. VQs should have it. I believe just barely, if I'm not mistaken. No, Rise does have it. But I mean, but Rise has it just barely. So VQ knows if we can just take a hill, get a decap, it should shift to their favor very soon as they edge their way to the mark. But good on Rise defensively, trying to set up. And look at this wall packing now from VQ. They're going through, but the Lancer fire is hurting them quite a bit. Now they've got to go into some members onto you. That's going to be Rushiez as well as Icy, and I believe Avexys is going to be over there. If they can stop this push, hey, they can get the round.
Icy, he's going to wait behind, distracting multiple members as Fran makes a 200 IQ play on the flank to get the home hill of Vanquish as he saw all members pushing through. And, you know, Icy, even though he died there in that situation, he forced 2 players to come fight him. and he knew exactly what his duo on Franchise was doing on the map, and he brought him enough time to lock in that round win.
I like it. Very competitive game again. Rise needs this map. They're heading into Vasgar next. VQ is undefeated on that one. So if Rise doesn't win this, they might be in some trouble. I think, you know, I speak for everybody. If Rise gets this victory in this series and beats VQ, it would be an upset with how well VQ has been playing. But we all know anybody can win. Any team can take a victory. And in this case, it's no exception. VQ not going to challenge Overlook. That's going to expose them to an overextension because they don't have the manpower there, but they take matters into their own hands. They go for the neutral, and they might be going for an overextension themselves. It might be successful as they do get it down on Avexys. They smell blood in the water, but Vital Sam gets Anseens in, and he's going to be punished.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting the rush man to be behind. Getting that revive there on Avexys. Precision's going to have to make up for him. He takes out Rushiez. He has two players in front. A shot over the top doesn't do much damage. Avexys easily cleans them up there. Now Rise has to focus on decapping the B hill. They got enough members over on this area of the map. It's only Acells guarding his hill. He gets it down. He doesn't have a cross from Overlook because Inzem's distracting those players on that side of the map. So Rise should have no issues getting B.
Oh, a bit of a miss roll there from Vital Sam. It looks like B and C is going to be messed around with for VQ. No, B. Hopefully hold on to it, though, as they are going to take down France. That's going to be the nice two pieces. Fran and Avexys will fall. That's actually 3, as Rushiez will drop as
4
well.
down.
Reptilian gets to clean up, and like you said, 4 down. So all that advantage Rise just had, out the window. VQ takes the driver's seat. They're not going to be able to get the domination, but they're going to be able to set up defensively, get numbers, and see where Rise is going next.
Lots of respawns to be utilized for both these squads. It's the last round at the half. So we're about to have some chaotic fights break out here soon, folks. Now, Rise, they have to press VQ, and VQ is in a strong defensive position. Got players watching the mid lane. Only 2 people towards Overlook, and that's because they got the shock. And they says, hey, since we got this utility, let's put it to best use here. Vital's going to get the cross here on Fran. He's about to be the focus. Icy's going to have to relieve some pressure, and that's a heads-up play right there about a veteran, knowing that while his teammates is focused, he has an opportunity here to blindside one of the players on VQ. So they clean up 2 kills, and they have to get this home hill. They will get it. The shot comes through a little bit too late. And if you're on the side of VQ, you got to preemptively throw that one because you know Rise is coming. Now with Acells, he's clutching up for VQ once again when they need him. The saving grace. Now he locks in a B hill. This member off Rise needs to go for him as player 8 of Avexys, but now with another hill going to VQ, they got all the win conditions that they need to win here. Round number 4. We're all tied up going into the half.
Acells. He had 1 member from VQ there, and I don't think that member got a kill. If I'm not mistaken, Acells just picked up 3 consecutive eliminations in order to hold down B, and more importantly, knock the last life of one of the players from Rise. That put it down to a 5v4. Of course, that's a moot point, given the fact that, well, VQ was already going to win anyways, as they were slaying out on the home hill retake from the boys on Rise. Good half overall, very even. It seemed VQ had an advantage during certain points. Rise also had advantage during certain points. So I don't expect anything crazy to be placed. More utility in the back. Acells is going to go ahead and throw down some extra utility, and I expect Rise to do the same, maybe, unless they really feel confident for this Overlook fight. I think it's a bit preemptive, but hey, maybe they know something I don't. There it goes. Do you agree with this, Blaze?
You know what? I do agree with this one. Let's pull the fight over here towards this side of the map. One thing that we've been seeing a lot of teams do is put this drop shot down low at the range and been playing home hill to home hill, which has been making this Overlook fight less effective here in the second half. And a lot of teams been playing this fight and they're comfortable in it throughout most of the Pro League. So Rise is going to keep the action on this side of the map. Rushiez is going to get first blood, and he has a cross there top Overlook. Is going to force VQ to the top of the stairs, but he needs to be careful because Hndles, the Guardian Angel, shooting over the top, and he's going to give his teammates a pathway to victory here as they slay 4 members. They're looking for Inzem for the elimination domination, but now Inzem is going to be about to hold them off.
He's about to fight that drop shot.
He ain't running.
He has to fight. He has no choice. He's got to stand his ground, 10 toes down, and unfortunately he is on all 4s as the domination's coming through. Rushiez doesn't get a touch. And honestly, I don't know if he wanted to get in touch there. He knew he was going right in the middle of 3 players. So good on VQ. Solid start and a scary one. I think they're only going to get better on the second half with the close quarter fights.
And you know, and that's the thing about like not having somebody to keep the player's head down in heaven, because you're going to give them free crosses right there, right? And on that side of the map that VQ just came off of, you don't have a right-hand advantage there when it comes down to fight it on Overlook. And that's a difficult fight when your opponent sends 2 to 3 people up there trying to cross you out as soon as you come up the stairs. So that Heaven player has such a big role there with his pre-fire. And Hndles was with his teammate in that fight throughout the entirety of it. VQ, they get that round locked in. Now, they're going to be on the more favorable side here that these teams have been winning on, and Precision does not slow down whatsoever. Gets a flash out, allows Reptilian to get the first shot in. This forces Rise down, but the flank came through from Hndles this time. He says, you know what? I want some of this action. I'm tired of Lancering.
And you know what? Fair enough. If it works, it works. And it did in this case. That's 4 down once again. Icy, he's in no man's land, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he will drop. That's 5 down. Of course, Fran will get back into the mix. VQ, they're not going to go ahead and overcommit for the overextend. They're not going to try and get the domination. That's okay. We'll trade off the drop shot. Precision will take it. And it looks as if they might just set up defensively, which is the best case scenario. It's going to be tough for Rise to push anywhere. They know the drop shot is there. If I had to guess, though, given their position on the minimap, I think they're going to F.
Man, they love giving Precision all the firepower. They say, just go out there and slay out, young king, okay? We got your back. All right? Vital, Reptilian, Hndles, Acells. They say, we have your back. You cannot do any wrong. They are always there for the revive, to clean up, to finish off any kill that he gets weak. And, you know, if I'm Precision, man, it's got to feel good to have such support here, especially with last season being his debut really in Gears Esports. From then till now, he has grown so much as a player, and now he feels it, and he is ready to make big plays for this team always.
And you just talked about him as he picks up a 2-piece. Oh, no,
4-piece, baby.
A 4-piece for 2. You'd love to see it. If that was a lunch special, you'd be eaten up. I like it. VQ looking good. And Rise starting to fall behind. Again, this is a critical map for them to take, and they are on the edge of a loss. We'll see if VQ can close it out, but clearly that drop shot, I thought it was too early. I want to be completely honest with you. The first half was 2-2. Drop shot is there. It forces you to engage in that location. If you don't place the drop shot, then it opens you up to going for overextensions, right? You don't necessarily have to fight for the neutral, but in this case, you do. Instants are down low. Of course, that'll at least take the attention away from one person on each team, you would have to think. But it's not going to change much. I'm a bit worried, and I think the drop shot was the wrong play.
To give the fans an update here, UIU Fire Nice map 1. Fire Nice won 3 rounds in a row in Asylum, but UIU has won 4 in a row to make the comeback. Live.gearsofwar.com. You guys can check out all the matches that's going down. Even Bravo has the Noble versus PK series, where PK is leading 2-1. But back in this one, Taylor.
Back in this one, Fran, he's going to be looking to go for the overextension. I know instants were picked up just earlier by the boys on VQ, so they're going to have that whenever they decide to use them. If they borrow, that's going to be Hndles. So Hndles is going to try and use them himself. It looks like he has them in hand, but Avexys and Icy going off on you fight. Inzem down low. He's going to pick up 1, and Hndles now. He's going to be sandwiched, Lancered out, finished off. Vital Sound last alive. And I got to say, this is encouraging. Rise is looking good. They're getting greedy. They're going for the overextensions. They're trying to lock it in. And honestly, they might get away with it. Actually, they are.
Oh, who is that? Precision gets the last kill.
Of course.
He was full red, and I think he had 2 players lancing him from Overlook, but great effort there by Rise. They got off to a great start. They got the drop shot to utilize as well. It's going to be in the hands of Inzem. So now Rise, this is their bread and butter, man. They love being in positions like this. They're so methodical when it comes down to locking down lanes, keeping all players marked, and knowing where the rotation is coming from their opponent. Then at that point, they are so strong in their fortification here. VQ, this is going to be a hard break for them if they want to win a map now, but they brought out the smokes for a little extra assistance.
Smokes, man. You know, you can't discredit them. They are a great utility tool. They seem harmless, but they're truthfully not. It can open up your ability to be able to cut off a line of sight, push into a site, as long as you are not marked for Avexys, though. Goes for the cleanup on Hndles, pushes and threatens the issue for the 2v1. Looks like he is making it his own. Teammate down low, he'll clean him up. Down into hell. Instant is there, and it's going to be connected. Now, speaking of which, Inzem did connect on the Vital as well as Reptilian. Rise still holding on to power, holding on to control, and Hndles isn't in the map. Therefore, Rise will take this, bring it 4-3. Not bad.
Not bad at all here for Rise. Staying in this one, Taylor. That was a great initiative. They had to win. And honestly, that side of the map, they have gotten the most victories on. Now they need to flip on over towards the other spawn. They've been struggling here on this side. Now, I'm trying to ask myself, what strategy should they run here? Because, you know, if they go around towards you to fight for the drop shot, VQ always is able to set a trap for him and wait. Now, maybe this time around, Rise can get some flanks here towards the center. They're going to have to be worried about Hndles because he's been doing a good job locking down that entire area of the map. If player 7, Fran, can get the call out, and he's going to actually be matched up in a 1v1 for the incendiary grenades. If he wins that fight early, he could possibly get through on the flank, unless Inzem can go big here to start.
Wow. This is fantastic. Rise is looking much better than they were in those previous 2 rounds. And like you said, Fran won the fight. That leaves 2 members up, Vital Sam and Reptilian. But by no means are they in a good spot. Acells, though, looking to get out of a tricky situation. There's no way Inzem drops in this moment. The meat shield is making things awkward. The drop shot's still on the ground. No points being gathered as no one has any heals. And Inzem is trying to run, but he can't get away. Acells is there, and Precision as well. Fran will fall, and that's 2 down. And the drop shot surely goes to VQ.
Affinity just got a gray hair off of that one, man. You got to be able to stay alive. So many big plays won there by Rise to kick that round out to put them in an advantage, but it became a double initial because the fight lasted so long. Inzem did a good job staying alive. Fran did an amazing job winning his 1v1, but by him he tried to get back there, and VQ just so fast, always there to help each other out. Now they're gonna lock down E, they're locked down F as well. They got even numbers across the map too. Let's see how Rise is gonna break through.
Breakthrough, they're gonna have to. This is the round they must take in order to take the map. It's gonna be tough though, without question, but they're gonna give it their all. Hndles in a tricky situation, he drops. He is now gone. Now that's going to force Precision to rotate over with the drop shot. He's going to be using this to the best of his abilities. First one's going to be missed. Icy needs to fall, and he doesn't. So the second drop shot out of the way. Fran goes for the pickup. Reptilian looking to get the finishes. Huge 2-piece potential. That's a brick. That's an apartment, and that's a finish. Reptilian, good job.
Building houses over here and knocking down a few as well. Call him the big bad wolf. Reptilian, he's in this 1v1 now. He's holding off. Reinforcements are coming for Rise. Reptilian goes down. Acells gets the revive and a cleanup. He is always there when you don't want him to be if you're a Rise fan. And Vital, he's getting aggressive back you, trading out some shots. The flank comes through for Precision. Incendiary grenades are there as well. And Acells finds his way through the flames to get another kill there on Avexys.
What we need to see. VQ looking strong. Rise, though, need a little bit more, and they're going to be coming off the respawn. By no means are they down and out. They do have the potential to make this a lot closer than you think. I know we're looking at Avexys and Rushiez on their last life, the rest on 1 out of 4, but VQ's not healthy either. So if anybody falls on VQ other than Acells, they could be in trouble too. But any kill that VQ gets is going to be massive. The first one on Inzem is huge. Fran also falls, and that brings them down to their last life as well, bringing 4. But Vital Sam connects onto Avexys, and Rushiez 2 are out.
He says, I got you, dog.
There. And
You're not alone. You're not alone.
That is it.
So many rounds where it just looked like players of VQ was going to get cleaned up. They was by themselves, and then one of their teammates come through and they save them. You gotta, Vanquish is really playing at a different pace than some of these teams, which is scary. And it just shows how much work they did over the offseason. They wanted this, and now they are the best team in Gears Esports, and they show us why every series.
Fantastic work from VQ, taking it 5-3, a map that we felt they needed because now they're heading into Vasgar, a map that they are absolutely undefeated on. No one's been able to touch them. It is their map for all intents and purposes. We'll see if they can lock this series up 2-0, but who knows? Rise might surprise us. They are a decent, Vasgar team without question. And you know what? We saw a lot of potential there. I do strongly believe the drop shot going down as early as it did was not the right play. However, we did see them get some big wins, but it was VQ's ability to be able to readjust themselves, fix the situation, and overall just come out ahead. And like you said, they're playing at a different pace. It's so hard to match that pace, Blaze.
Yeah, it's very hard to match that pace, Taylor. And, when it came down to teams in the past that really played at that pace, it was really Rise and UIU were the two at the top for a very long time. But VQ has so much trust in each other, and they always understand what the win condition is, always on the same page. It shows, man. These series, they are close sometimes in a scoreline, but VQ, they win them in such a fashion here, where, they're just good. I don't know what else to say about them, man. I just said so many good things about VQ. I'm just sitting back and watching the show at this point.
Honestly, this is the thing. VQ is absolutely the favorite, right? Going into this tournament, they continue to be the favorite. For them to lose the event, that is always a possibility, but I don't expect them to drop out of the winner's bracket. I genuinely don't. And for any team to beat them, it would be an upset without question. It's kind of like now, and I hate to make this this comparison because I don't know if I'm out of line for doing so, but it's almost like looking at UYU during the season finals. Now, granted, they went undefeated. No one was able to touch them, but VQ is looking like a team that is untouchable, much like UYU was in the previous major. So I'm very impressed. But the thing is, though, I will say, Rise showed a lot of promise during that training grounds map. They really did. And there was quite a few, even round number 1, you saw how explosive, how quick they were to push through and lock in the domination. That's huge for them. The fact that they were able to then, after losing 2 rounds when the drop shot was placed on the second half, they were able to then win those rounds, Blaze. And that was because of their slaying prowess as well as their ability to be able to adjust and make quick plays. That shows promise. And Rise is looking a lot better than I've seen them look in a long time. This winter major, I strongly feel they can have a decent run, but they're going to have a huge challenge, and that's Vasgar. And I don't know if they can do it.
Yeah, man. Vasgar is a map in which VQ has, I believe, still to this point, have not lost on. Rise have not won on Vasgar. It's the reason why Vanquish picked it. And we talked about it when this game kicked off, that if Rise was going to take this series, the most likely was going to be a 3-game series, and they had to take map 1. Well, it didn't happen. And now if Rise's season is going to turn around here, if their major run is going to flip, they have to do something that has not been done before and make a huge statement. I can't think of a better time than now on Vasgar against Vanquish.
Oh, 100%, right? And even if they lose the series, to know that you can take that map off of a team such as VQ, that's powerful. But more importantly, and to bring it back down to reality, Forge is the next map, right? That's map number 3. And the truth is VQ, that's probably one of their shakiest maps to go on and play in. Rise could have a very distinct advantage going into map 3 if they get to that point.
Yeah, no, they definitely can. They definitely can. And, winning on Vasgar, too, as well, that's a lot of momentum going over towards Forge. But
absolutely,
Vanquish, man, we know that you cannot get rid of these guys. You have to play every round like it's your last. And you gotta be smart about it. I don't mean like wasting respawns, just fighting like it's the last round that you got. You gotta play it smart here because the competition is like no other, especially now. At this moment, there are so many great series going down. We just watched VQ versus Rise, Fire and Ice, and UYU went to round number 9 on Asylum, where I think UYU took them out. But regardless, that's a close series. And then PK and Noble as well. That one's been a banger. So across the board, this is nothing but great Gears of War matches popping off at this moment of the champ bracket. And I hope you guys are honestly enjoying it as much as I am.
Oh, I mean, look, I know I'm enjoying it personally. I believe that PK Noble was on B Stream, the side station, if I'm not mistaken. So if you guys want to check that out or keep both streams up simultaneously, definitely worth a watch, because honestly, Noble could beat PK. They've already done it, and they could do it again. And for PK to drop down a loser bracket so early on, I mean, it would blow my mind. I just wouldn't be expecting it whatsoever, but the possibility is always there. Just like the possibility for Rise to win Vasgar is here as well. It's going to be a fun one to watch without question. And, you know, I pass it over to you, Blaze. You've watched so much, man. You know Rise's playstyle, you know VQ's playstyle, and you talked about the domination that VQ is able to kind of, you know, put forth on other teams on this very map. What can Rise do to get the upper hand?
Rise is gonna have to slow the pace of this game down and work together, just like we're seeing off this initial. I see Avexys double Lantern to get the initial down, but no kills came through. VQ, they survived that off the start, and it was a great initial, but now they were in a 5v3. And look at this pressure here. Rise did a good job cutting back to make sure they can secure themselves a heal, and they're going to rotate towards C. Rotation is also something else that they have to be quicker than VQ on this map if they want to beat them.
Okay, well, VQ to a decent start. They've got a little bit of a lead. Rise, though, chaining together some eliminations, but don't think it's going to be enough. Look at this wall packing. Look at the mini map, ladies and gentlemen. You can see all 4 members from VQ just sticking together. It's going to apply a lot of pressure onto this A fight. That's going to be player number 2. Now, this is a point where Franchis with Rise needs to call out a decision. Do we defend A or do we go and rotate to another hill? Well, it seems as if they want the smoke, they want the bloodbath, and they're going in. But the problem is they are starting to fall behind. Fran and Icy will lose their lives. Rushiez now going to be on baby steps, trying to force the issue on a Vital Sound. Easy cleanup. That's now 4 down. Avexys will be cleaned up soon enough, and now that leaves Inzem by himself.
Avexys and Inzem went scouting. They had to go fight some fights on B and C to lock down some heals for their team because they wasn't getting A in that moment. Avexys lost his battle, but Inzem gave his team an out coming out of spawn for them to be able to take a breath, regain some control on the map, and decide what they want to do next here. So we got a few of them towards D hill. That's a swarm spawn on the top side. That's a 2v2 fight, and they're gonna even it up with a 3v3 fight on the other side. And on Vasgar, you want to always match numbers if you can, or, you know, rotate the guys in secret. And, you know, this is one map where it's very easy to mask your numbers compared to others based off how it's played. You get an extra guy over, get that man advantage. That's great if you could do it, but VQ going tit for tat, winning their fights there. They won the 3v3 fight, but on the other end of the map, Rise is going to win the 2v2 engagement unless Hndles, oh man, the help comes through once again. VQ is always there for your teammates.
Oh, and Vital Sam, you didn't have to do that to Inzem. Come on, my guy. There was a lot committed that round. A lot committed. I do believe Rise is going to come up with 3 out of 4, but a lot of them got down to 2 out of 4, and that's always a spot you don't want to be in, especially if you think about it. If you have the lead, right? If you have the lead, it's like, do we commit more lives? And sometimes you would, and you get a little bit overzealous and carried away. Not a reality for Rise in this case, though. We are going to go into round 2, and everything's going to be relatively even and okay for both sides. It's an interesting one. VQ, like you said, the help was there consistently, and there's just not a lot you can do against that. It's like you seem like you have the upper hand. If you're a Rise member, you go in, you get a chunk, you're like, all right, I'm feeling myself, and then now you got another VQ member who's coming up behind you.
It's either a random nade, a player, a drop shot, just something comes through for VQ always to, you know, stop, you know, their opponent in their tracks when they start looking like they're about to, you know, take momentum in a series. But regardless of right now, VQ, they got the A hill locked in. They just got multiple kills on the other side of the map. They were trying to help their teammates first before they was able to decap C, but they're going to get their marks seen on the Rise members, and they know that their focus is going to be the A hill. Can Acells hold off? Great first kill. He put Icy full red. Rise, they will get the A hill, but the rest of the VQ members are coming. They're not done just yet.
Not done just yet, and you know what? They're not going to stop. That's the reality of it. Avexys and Inzem. Avexys, beautiful kill around the cover, though. Goes for the second, forces Reptilian back. As he does take him down, so now it's going to be precision. But again, look, and this is what you just talked about. You think you're getting, you get some nice kills, you force some VQ members back, and then 2 or 3 more replace them.
Exactly. Next thing you know, your back's against the wall, and it's like, hold up, we just won some big fights. How the hell are we the ones sitting back in our spawn trying to defend our home hill? But Icy trying to go big here for the squad. He finally goes down. Avexys tried to make a play off the damage in which he put out, but Vital was waiting for him. VQ locks in their second round in a row, and so far they've been playing perfect here on Vasgar. Let's see if Rise wants to put something big down now, change up the fight. And VQ is going to make sure they get the incendiary grenade. Rise, usually they have to match this to beat down an incendiary grenade on the map. That's not good unless they're going to throw some crazy stuff out there that we don't know about, because Rise could put a drop shot center map on Crater and run some strategies that we've never seen before if they want to. I would love that. I have never seen anything get placed in a Crater on this map. And honestly, I don't know what strategies you will run, but the drop shot is the weapon you want to put there. And then you're going to see a lot of fights coming in, a lot of rotations coming in from C Hill and F Hill as well.
Oh, Inzem comes out, precision connects. Inzem burnt to a crisp. And that leaves Tank exposed. One player is going to be behind. That's Fran now. He's going to be able to call out to his troops where these members are at. Of course, you know where Precision is. Vital Sam, he's taking up default for Lancer. Avexys, though, up close. Lancer out. Hndles makes some pay. Traded off, though. Inzem will clean him up. And now you got Acells trying to defend him off. He's got one player coming up baby steps. He knows he needs to force this issue onto Rushiez. That's his only choice. It doesn't work out, but he did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, he was staying alive as long as he could. He knew his teammates were going to be fighting down low for that B hill, and they did win that fight. So you got a few VQ members. At first, they wanted to push towards right spawn, but they're going to Lancer across the map towards C. That's why Rushman got damaged a bit. That was support coming in from Precision, but he's going to have to worry about his fight over on the other end of the map, because that's a 2v2 fight there in which Fran is connected with some bricks. He ain't missing shots. He's going to have to cut back. Possibly helps his teammates, but he want to be there for Icy as they try to lock in B Hill.
Trying to lock it in without question. Icy picks up Acells. Of course, Reptilian is there for the cleanup. Fran then comes through for the trade, so VQ loses 2 members. But the battle is not over with yet. Look at Precision again. This man plays out of his mind. Vital Sam, his number 2, going off just as much. And that's going to be 3 down. Fran with the mismantle, the misinput. You hate to see it. And VQ back in the driver's seat, and more importantly, on all 3 hills.
The trip cap's coming through. Icy, Rushiez, what can you do? They're going to hold off, but their teammates just lost the fight on the other end of the map. So they desperately roll into the hill where Reptilian's waiting for them. Fran can't get to A in time. At first, Icy and Rushiez, they were just going to set up. They were going to let their teammates win their fight. They looked like it was going to come through, but then a big one player was huge on VQ at the A hill, and they had to frantically get to B, then work out for him. Vanquish, man, that's 3 in a row. Now, Inzem, you've been over here towards the crater in a minute, man. You just want to prove me right that you guys got the secret strat. Where's the drop shot?
You know, because I feel like you know something.
It just shows I'm in major form.
I feel like you know something.
I don't even talk to him about strats, but I just know what
you
is going
something.
down. I promise.
You stop.
I ain't talked to Rise in weeks.
Blaze.
All right,
oh, whatever,
I ain't talked to Rise in weeks. But I had a feeling I've been casting too much Gears of War. Man.
Who calls
this
that?
is about to be good. This is about to be good.
Okay. Drop shot in Crater. And yeah, you know what, Blaze? Apparently your predictions are correct all around, man. This is, I don't even know.
Tell somebody.
Look at the teams though. But you can see the teams. They don't even want to go for it. They don't even know what to do. I think Rise knows what to do.
They do.
But VQ's like, hey, Acells, just, I don't know, bro. Just go for it if you can. He's the only one.
But they're playing exactly how they are. And when you're in these positions, you have to play man on man when your opponent throws curveballs at you. We had a 2v2 at the B hill. Rise, they got the advantage. Sorry, VQ was winning this fight currently, as they won the fight in middle to get drop shot as well. In a 2v2 fight up top, stalemated until VQ was able to rotate towards that direction with the power weapons. And even with Rise throwing curveballs, Vanquish is so composed.
Oh man, Icy gets the touch. Yes, he does. But for how long? Meat Shield's there. Chunks continue Acells throws out the drop shot, takes down his own teammate. I guess it was worth it. Maybe not, but hey, at the end of the day, Rise stays alive, but they're not thriving. Inzem, Avexys, last lives friend, not far behind. And the fresh drop shot coming up in, I assume, about 30, 45 seconds. So things are definitely going to be interesting when that pops back up. I'm curious who's going to challenge for that one. But I like this. Icy chaining together some kills. Rise finally Wolfpacking together. And there it is, powers and numbers without question.
All right, now, here we go. Next drop shot is going to be up in, I will say, about a minute. Rise needs to make sure they at least have B or C. Don't worry about A right now on the map. And that hill is going to be closest towards VQ's spawn. If Rise can get this now, that's a great down to start. That's a good 2 kills they've picked up here. They can get a third on Reptilian. Now, if they can get the new drop-off respawn or just push in, get the remaining few players, VQ's going to spawn up as soon as possible. This is the 4th round here, folks, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing, though. Rise, they're going to commit everything, including their members who are going to be on their last lives. But I will say this, they're giving one hell of an effort, but looks like A is being messed around with. But it looks like Fran is picking up some big kills. And no way. And Rise takes it. Now, I'm not going to say, Blaze, that the drop shot was a factor at all, because it wasn't. But my goodness, to take that round with 2-3 members on their last lives, that's just crazy. Good job for Rise.
Nah, that was a great effort there from Rise, folks. And that was a must-win round for them, especially after putting that drop shot down center. You lose it, you're down 4-0. At that point, you're just feeling helpless. It's like, man, what can we throw at these guys to beat them? And so now going into this round, VQ will be able to get their shot grenade. And I'm curious to see if the initials are going to change up from what we saw before. And they could because of the hill locations, but last time we saw a 2v2 fight up top, 2v2 fight down low, and a 1v1 in middle. Rise, they are in a good position, and honestly, this strategy make it work out a little bit better for them in the second half than it did in the first.
Well, you know, the thing is now with the drop shot in mid and not on tank where it traditionally is, it's like, what do you fight for? It doesn't force the engagements anymore. And again, I think the biggest thing Rise did there is they space out the VQ members theoretically. They take a member away, and Inzem actually gets the drop shot.
Nobody was watching him. They wasn't even ready for him. Inzem got it for free, and he was like, is somebody hiding around here? It took him a while to creep up to her, but nobody was there. VQ sent 3 members down low to force the fight on top of the F hill, and now they were trying to cut back and make the play at E, but Inzem's defending it with the drop shot. So this is going to slow down just a bit until the rest of the Rise members can come off respawn.
Slow down, it needs to. VQ, I understand their need to try and get the domination, but we just see what happened in the last round. This could easily be a 4-0. They just would have backed off a little bit. That drop shot doesn't connect on the precision inside of the hill that they're trying to defend to go for the domination. Does it change the outlook of that last round? Who knows? Maybe it does. I think it does. But either way, VQ, 2v4 onto D. Tough situation, and Inzem's going to open up the door onto D, absolutely, as Hndles will fall with the drop shot. Vitosam also on all 4s. And VQ, everywhere I look, is starting to fall down, but Precision has something left up his sleeve.
All right, now VQ, they're going to have a nice little lead here in this situation. When they come off respawn, they're going to be fighting for control of D back. So they're not going to waste any time. They're going to go towards that direction now, and they're going to leave Precision by himself to watch E. Big fight here for Rise. They're going to lose one player. The flash connects, but no one's able to make a play. Avexys hits a nice spread to allow Rushiez to get 1 kill there on Vital, but he's going to finally go down. 4 members down of Rise in total. VQ is going to lock in D and E. And now that next drop shot is going to be up in just a bit. But with that kill coming through, Rise, they know that they have no more chances left there in that round, and they have to play perfect if they want to survive.
All right, so what do they do from here? 4-1. You already placed a drop shot mid. You're behind in utility, not by a massive amount, but you are behind. So what is the play? What do you do in this situation? Well, for VQ, it's an easy decision. We're just going to go ahead and, half down our instance, maybe even our shock. If they want, they can go for a disable, but why do that? They can save that for later on, keep that in their inventory. Now, the instant will, in fact, be halved. And for Rise, well, they said, we need a shock. We need some type or more utility, if you will, to join alongside that of the instant. So, I don't know. Things didn't change that much. VQ, I think, still has the upper edge. Rise that last round. They got it on the back of VQ, getting a little bit overzealous going in for the domination. Let's see what Rise can do. I mean, this is a big hill to climb.
And Vanquish is not sending anyone mid-map whatsoever. They're sticking to their game plan. They're focusing on these heals on the edges here. Inzem's going to be back in the center once again. Fran's going to be there to help him. They're trying to focus on getting his drop shot. Fran's trying to support him, and they're doing a good job holding off the team fight and slowing down VQ off this rotation. So soon, Rise should have the advantage here with the drop shot in hand. Fran's gonna have to work with Inzem. The revives there. The double Lancers focus, but the clip in this shot splits the seas between the two. One player, VQ, got stuck in the center. That was precision. He's being forced to fight against Fran. His teammates are falling all around him. And with this kill coming through, an elimination victory for Rise will come through.
Okay, so now they bring it up 2-4. Not necessarily the swing round per se, but hey, it is a start. 3 more rounds to go before they send it to round 9 and potentially take the entire thing. And
I will
the
say this to Taylor.
there.
If he does not shoot that drop shot, that round could still be going on, because the double Lancer was there. It was enough ammo in the clip, but instead of hitting X, he put the drop shot in the air, and he was just like, if you down me, I'm gonna get a double kill regardless if somebody else is gonna come through for these revives. And it worked out for him. So Rise, they was in a difficult situation, but they find a way to get out of it.
I have need of this.
All right, so let's see what Rise can do. A comeback here would be huge, and Icy does have the in-bar, so excitement will ensue, and I can't wait to see if he's going to be able to connect there. I love seeing me some in-bar plays without question, and Icy will connect onto Hndles, mind you. Now, a lot of action taking place as the Inzem will connect onto Inzem. VQ, Acells, Vital Sound, last alive.
Rise is gonna have to adapt just as well as VQ adapts, and when it comes down to teams in the league who can adapt under pressure, Rise was the forefront of that before VQ took their claim to fame and became the best team in NA. Now Rise, they just gotta make these small adjustments round after round. They gave one of the best in-bar players his favorite weapon, and now Rise just needs to get the kills, make the rotations, and keep communicating here.
Communication is key, and that's exactly what they know is going to take them and give them the added advantage. For Fran with that drop's huge. Reptilian, though, Vital Sound, shocks and incense in hand. That's going to be hugely beneficial for going for the retakes. You see the scoreline. Rise, they have about a point lead or a half a point lead, but regardless, it's there. VQ has to be the first ones, theoretically, to react. Here comes the push. VQ's going in. Drop shot out, doesn't connect. VQ then is going to recover, get onto F. They're locking it in place. Now you notice through mid we go, and Rise is going to challenge onto player 8, Acells, as well as Reptilian trying to hold their own. Acells has already fallen, Reptilian is there, he's gonna fall too. Rise with the retake, and they also have control again.
Yeah, big play there by Rise. VQ, they got a lot of respawns to put into this round if they choose to come back in it. And it's still early on, but I think they're gonna let this fight dictate what they want to do, because even spawning back in, they still had a lot of work to get done there in order to come back in that round. They're just gonna slow it down here, and they say, all right, we're not gonna force it. We know that it's a hard fight against Rise. They got respect for this team. They do not count anyone out. And that's what makes VQ so consistent here. Now, do they match the in-bar play, or do they keep their shock? I'm curious about that. We're about to find out soon.
Find out soon, indeed.
Oh, Rise, this is smart. They go for the block here. They're gonna either force VQ to upgrade or use their block in this moment. I think VQ should upgrade. I don't think they use their block here in this situation. Would it be in a map like Vasgar? Yes, not having your incendiary grenade would be bad, but you know, at the end, you can kind of make up for it off the rotations, and they choose to block the drop shot instead.
Interesting. I thought they would, you know, kind of fight for the drop, ban the M, or excuse me, disable the M bar. But I guess not going to be the case. So Icy's still going to have that power weapon. It's going to be hugely beneficial for him. 3 rounds in the chamber. Rushiez opens it up on Reptilian, goes into Vital Sound. Good movement, puts him on skates. He should fall here, and he does. But either way, 2 for 1. You'll take those numbers any day of the week. So Rise looking good here. VQ trying to regain control, but they're going to have to wait a little bit. They're going to have to wait for the rest of the cavalry to join up.
Yeah, you know, to me, I think VQ should have saved that block for the last round, but you know, I'm not playing Taylor. We'll see if this is gonna work out for him here. Rise, they have an advantage with their incendiary grenade, but the same thing I said before is that VQ can kind of out-rotate that incendiary grenade if they choose to. But on the flip here, Rise got an M-bar. So they got all the weapons in which they want, and VQ is just more worried about the drop shot. You can tell that that's the one situation that they have not practiced against, and they're gonna go over some things when this series is over. Icy, he misses the first one, got 2 left. He doesn't miss that one. And 1 more in the chamber. He got some marks through the flames, but the shot slows him down here just a bit. And he's gonna hold on to this shot.
Nice.
Nah, he's gonna tag up Reptilian in the back, but just a little bit off there from getting a headshot. VQ is gonna rotate out of the situation. They get trapped between 2 Rise members, but the rest of the members of VQ will spawn up and get their home hill back.
You know, it's weird how much confidence Rise has now. They seem like a different team, and they seem so poised and ready to take over this victory. The drop shot in mid is awkward, and that's very apparent given the fact that VQ used their only disable not to get rid of the M-bar, which I thought would have more of an impact, but the drop shot, they don't want to fight for that. So it clearly shows that wild card, the ace up Rise's sleeve, which was, of course, the drop shot in mid, put VQ's head spinning. So this is interesting. If VQ, which I don't think they win this round, which is probably most likely go into round number 9 here unless something magical happens. And with these eliminations, it might not be the case, but the hills are going to be broken. 9 is going to be there, 7 as well. And now it's going to be a 2v3, but 7 falls. And Reptilian shouldn't be able to get this unless he pulls off a miracle. He's going to be blindsided. Still an opportunity is there, though.
Still an opportunity. A 1v2 needs to be won by Vital. And the rest of his teammates should be able to get this F hill without any issues. Vital, he goes down, and his teammates, they run into the other side of the map. Precision will make it here in time. This is Rise's spawn. So members of Rise can spawn up and go to E if they want to, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna fight here at D, support their teammates, and yeah, this is gonna be an easy round locked in here for Rise. And I'm curious to see where our last weapon placements are going to be put here in this round number 9 on Vasgar, where Rise threw a complete curveball, which got them back in this series. And we've talked about it all week long about how these teams have strategies in which they save for the major to win series like this and flip the tides. I'm so happy we got a chance to see that drop shot go middle.
Oh, without question, this was a series to watch. And you know what? I think we might be going to game 3 again. Rise, they just seem confident. They seem poised. They seem ready to take this victory. And VQ somehow doesn't seem as strong at this point in time. They are, though, going to get the M-bar as well. So we got M-bars galore. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how that one is going to play off. But again, Rise seems ready for the fight in mid. And in fact, they're the only ones even committing for it.
Yeah. You know, to VQ, if they get these long-range weapons, they want to be able to use them to pick off people where Acells gets 2 headshots to kick off this round for VQ. Oh, what a start.
Nasty.
They get the power weapons now. Acells gets 3. This man.
Oh, my gosh.
We talk a lot about monkeys being the best player in Gears Esports, but Acells is number 2 in that conversation.
Hey, that is a huge opening for Acells. It's going to go ahead and recover. Reptilian gets away with that drop shot. Now, I thought VQ was a good challenge for it, but surprisingly, they kind of hang out. Does Hndles they have 2 M-bars on their side? What's going on?
M-bars spawning up every 75 seconds. The only difference in the weapon placements are the incendiary grenades, where Rise gets one every 2 minutes versus VQ's every 1 minute. The drop shots are being put to good use here by Vanquish. They have the D hill locked in, and they got a 3v2 currently to get F. If they use their numbers now, they're being patient. They get 1 down, but Fran, is left by himself. Rushiez can't get here in time, so he's just gonna turn around, but he knows he has to fight. There is no running from this fight anymore. He is on his last respawn here of the map.
Well, I hate to say it, but Rise has been here before, okay? We've seen 3 members on their last life earlier in this match. And what did? They took over the round. So potential is still there for Rise to win, despite the respawns being quite low for Rushiez as well as Franchis is wanting one of these heads, and he's not getting it. One more shot ready to go. Vital Sam, though, 1v2, gets one. D is going to be broken by Fran. That's going to give them, I believe, the win condition only for a little bit. He actually hops off of it, though.
Yeah, so D-Hill is going to go in favor of Vanquish because he knew that he couldn't stay there for too long, Taylor. Now he's going to be on his last respawn. The cross comes through. If Rise can get back with this drop, they're trapped mid-map. This is not where you want to be on Vasgar, folks. But here comes Vanquish. They get one down. Can Inzem get away with the drop shot? He's calling for help. The down comes through. Vital cleans him up. Fran can't get here in time. That's one down. Can he get the second? Because as we all know, Dom players are the best in the game.
Wow.
And you could debate your mama as Fran gets 2.
He gets 2, and that should result in the hill. Oh, here comes the kills from Rise. And this is something VQ was not ready for. Hndles now put into the blender, dropped. I told you, even though Rise, they've got low respawns, they could still win this. COG team has the win condition. D is locked in. Now, Rushiez has been finished off, so he will not be joining us anymore for the remainder of Vasgar. 5v4, but Icy continues to tear it up. Inzem also ready to take some heads off with the M-bar. I believe that hits a body shot, maybe, and he gets it. And that's it.
Inzem
what can VQ do?
From downtown, and Rise wins the fight at D. They win the map.
I told you, Rise has been here before. They did it several times. A little extra love coming through. And man, we thought VQ, we thought it was a lock, but I guess not anymore.
Are
4 rounds in a row. That drop shot in mid clearly was the straw that broke the camel's back. You love to see it. Rise up.
Chat, are you not entertained? Like what? What? What a series.
Oh my goodness. Well, again, look, I said it. Yeah, Rise low on respawns, but they've done it before. They did it earlier, and they did it again. VQ, I'm telling you, something is off, and maybe not off with them, but Rise is just on point. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're heading into Forge Map 3. Will Rise defeat VQ, or will it be the other way around? We'll find out right after this. Welcome back to the Gears Winter Major. My goodness, what a series we have here. I thought Rise was going to be done for without question, but 4 rounds in a row results in a victory. And VQ never loses on Vasgar, if ever at all. Yet they just did when it matters most here during the Winter Major. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Guy Blaze. Blaze, break it down for me. What was the straw that broke the camel's back for VQ?
Oh, the straw that broke the camel's back was dead center of it, and it was in the form of a drop shot, all right? Rise, they placed it middle. VQ, they really didn't have much of an option, much of a counter strategy towards it early on. They wasn't contesting that fight. They didn't want to give Inzem the chance to have a 1v1 there in that position. And up until this point, VQ had a commanding lead. They were up 3-0. They end up ultimately being up 4-1 in this series. Then next thing you know, the man himself, Icy, starts going off with the M-bar, gets Rise towards a round 9 with their teamwork. And in that round 9, Acells kicks off the round with 3 epic headshots. Clean. You only get 3 shots in the M-bar. VQ, they were up. They were winning the round, but Rise showed who they were, what makes them so special. They never give up. And they let Vanquish know, man, hey, we were doing this first. You're going to have to beat us on Forge.
This is the thing. Vasgar, right? VQ had the chance to wrap it up and close out the series long ago, several rounds ago. And you remember it was when Acells had the drop shot, ended up using it and taking down his own teammate of Precision when they were trying to lock into domination. If Precision doesn't fall there, we've seen him go off and pull off some massive plays. Maybe they take that round and this series was long gone and we're on to the next one. But not the case. He takes down Precision, Rise wins that round, and they don't stop ever since. They just take it all, and they end up winning 4 straight rounds. An amazing set of circumstances, and I go back even to Rated R whenever they played against Hayabusa. Remember, if they would have committed that extra attempt, right, whenever that big play was pulled off on Bunker, they could have closed out that series 2-0 as well. It's little plays like that you don't think have a massive impact, but it's a trickle effect. You never know which impact it's going to have and how much it's going to be. And that right there, I think, is exactly the moment where VQ let it slip.
And in those situations, how do you make the perfect play? How does the whole team stay composed? It's all about having a fantastic IGL, something that I do believe, I think, like you said, in that series, that Bunker before, where the one team didn't have, in this series, you got Franchis in, and we highlighted it when we kicked it off, that it's going to be one of his toughest series that he's ever played. But these members of Rise know that they got all the pieces of the puzzle to come out on top. They've been in difficult spots before. Hell, probably more difficult spots than Vanquish over time. And now Rise gets to show why they have champions on their squad, and Vanquish is playing for their first championship.
We know VQ, like you said, first championship, but the reality is this is not a map that you want to kind of put all your eggs into one basket on, okay? VQ is not a consistent team here. The consistency was from Vasgar. Now they are forced to play on a map which they are historically not that good on. It has been a battle here on Control Tower. But you notice, though, the overextension for VQ is there. You will have a 1v1 between Reptilian and Rushiez, and Control Tower is going to be one. So this is a very big 1v1 here. Rise is about to take control, but Reptilian is holding his own.
Man, all I gotta say is that Vanquish, Rise, map 3, UIU, Fire and Ice, map 3. Folks, if you ain't got both these streams open, what the hell are you doing, okay? Come on, it's major weekend right now, and we are deep into the champ bracket. Now, VQ is deep into their spawn, backs against the wall here. Smokes are gonna come out. Rise, they're trying to peek through the corners. Icy, he's waiting, he gets one, misses his second back A, can't take another to the grave, but getting one, that still puts your team in a good spot.
Right, so Rise with the lead. Alpha and Bravo locked in place. Looks like a battle for B is going to be underway shortly. Hndles, though, is going to pick up one. Avexys now is trying his hand in a 1v2. Got a player down low. Avexys will fall. Inzem has a decision to make. Fight this or go for the pickup. Well, he's going to go ahead and maintain his life, but how long will he be able to stay up here? 1v3, he's taken down. Now, Rise coming off the respawn is going to force the issue onto Hndles. Hndles trying to stay up. He can't do it. Reptilian is there, gets to trade, or at least gets to drop onto Rushiez. And an interesting push from VQ, almost looking like they might want to take the backside of Control Tower. But this is the thing, Rise is on the overextension. And I don't know if they have an answer for it.
Yeah, great down to kick this one off there by Vital. He's holding this off by himself, but he knows that Rise will push through the spawn, so he's going to throw himself a flash to buy time for a teammate to get to him. Now, B-Hill is still in favor of VQ. They need some help to push in through mid-map. They win a big fight here in the spawn, and Hndles downs out Icy as he was on his last. Fran caught between a rock and a hard place. He goes down as well. VQ, they're going to get this trip cap domination. They're going to strike first in round number 1.
Oh, and a beatdown is there. A little added love. There's a lot going on here towards the end, and I'm not going to lie. Hey, VQ, it's good to feel yourself, but it's not like you dominated that round. It's not like it was clean. That Control Tower fight took forever, and Rise ended up winning that. You went for the overextension, and Rise ended up knocking you off of that. Hey, it's going to be a bloodbath, but you might as well get your shots in when you can, I suppose. We're going into round number 2 as Rise looks to tie this series up, but they're going in without the right-handed advantage. We'll see how they now fight this fight.
Yeah, man, that one sentence tells a lot about the series. You got to get shots in when you can, all right? Because these teams will sometimes not give you a second opportunity to do what you did to them the previous round, as they are always making adjustments to what their opponent's throwing at them. This is a chess match, 2v2 fight up top. Great dodge there by Inzem. Icy couldn't get the kill. Acells gets the meat shield. Vitals behind him. He's gonna get caught out, and Rise wins this fight up top.
I like it. Rise, again, coming out the gate swinging. They did this last round before VQ took the round for themselves. But I don't know. I don't think Rise is going to make that same mistake. You see the pressure they're applying, but they got to go against Precision. And Precision has been playing so very well. That's going to be one onto Friend. That allows enough time for Inzem now to be pressured. He's going to drop. And it looks like VQ is right back in it again.
VQ, they got their home hill locked in. They're looking to push towards Incinerator, but first they know that they need to get this B hill while these members of Rise are coming off respawn. Get this base set up. Avexys won't be able to get out of here, so he tries to take one to the grave. And great effort, great attempt there on Chunk and Precision. They're just gonna leave him down so he can take his own life there. Now, BQ got a lot of pressure on top of Rise's home hill, but number 9, Rushiez, he's overextended on the other side of the map. He loses his battle against Precision, but did he buy his team enough time to fight their 3v3 fight? He did. They didn't win it. And VQ is looking to lock in their second round here of the map.
Now I ask myself, like, what does Rise do? They get on the cusp of getting a domination. Obviously, Precision knocks them off. He allows enough time for Reptilian to come through and get that second pickup, and then they break away from there. One goes over to B, and then the overextension is there, and Rise can't do much about it. Rise is getting so close, and now I gotta ask myself, if I'm Rise, we're winning the initials in a dominating fashion. Do we really need to commit for the overextension? And maybe the answer is no. Maybe the answer is get set, and that right there is a good placement. I agree with this one. I didn't agree with the training grounds one, but I agree with this one given the fact that they are dominating that control tower fight. This drop shot should easily go to them, but then again, now you're going to have 2 additional members up top instead of the normal 2 that you're used to.
All right, here we go. 4v4 fight up top. The focus fire is on the rush man. He has to slow down with the flashes coming through. Precision can't get a good back aid, but a counter flash from VQ is there. They get a team kill and take out Icy, but the crossfire from Avexys is proven to be a little bit too much. It forces VQ to have to push through, to have to push into Rise's right hand, where Acells gets 2, lines himself up for a 1v1. You want to make it 3, big fella? Can you do it? Yes, you can. He gets a drop shot.
My goodness. And that is a play, man. That is a play. Good job, Acells, for getting out. He even grabbed some additional Nasher bullets just to get out of there. He says, you know, I'm going to take my time. I just popped off. I need some more bullets because I just expended them all right into the Rise boys. Okay, so now Rise is in a situation that they haven't been in yet, right? Because their initials have been so solid that now what are they going to do when their back is against the wall? Precision misses that first shot because that should have been an easy chunk, and he says, I'm out.
Yeah, you better. You got 2 drops on your back. You don't want to lose that, especially when Precision works, especially when Acells works so hard to give it to you. Do not waste his efforts there. Now, Hndles is going to get it down on Avexys, and he's going to clean him up off his side of the map. Acells, he's pushing for a little bit more. He calls out their friends going up top, but he knows this is a 1v1 for him, and he is not missing right now, folks.
Precision and Acells last up, but hey, it's kind of like having an additional teammate, if you will, with that drop shot, right? He's going to go ahead and use it onto Inzem. That's a connection. Now he's able to reposition himself and focus on the Rise members ahead. He knows where Rushiez is at. Acells now going into 1v2, gets a little bit antsy there. He could have just chilled out, but he doesn't. I get it. He's feeling himself. On the other side, though, Rushiez will fall. Cleanup is there. Scoreline very close. Rise may have a minor lead, but VQ is very close to taking over Bravo. See what Rise do. They know the new drop shot is going to be coming up, so what are they going to do? They're going to go up top.
All right, so Rise, they're going to be in position. They beat VQ there. They got 2 members waiting for that drop shot. You see Icy trying to get some cross to help his teammates towards mid-map. But this is a huge fight because the drop shot spawning up in 13 seconds here, and VQ is going to win this fight. They win multiple fights down low as well. Fran has no more respawns. Avexys gets cleaned up mid-map. And VQ gets the 3-0 lead.
I wasn't expecting that at all. Rise 20 seconds early to the party for the drop. Get taken down before the drop even appears. Well, VQ takes the victory. That's a tough loss for the Rise boys, and they are looking to maybe go down 4-0. I don't know, Blaze. I don't see what Rise can do to get the best of VQ in this moment.
Unless they can't put a drop shot at Incinerator or something like that, right? Like they can't
Well.
they can't do anything else that is kind of unorthodox here to really change the tide of this map. The drop shot up top in Control Tower is really the curveball in which people have been using during this major that we haven't seen too much during the Pro League. You're going to get a 4v4 fight up top. Fran's going to go towards the B hill to cap that one up, and he needs to help his teammates out or have faith in them to win the fight. And he's flanking. They're holding off, and you're going to get the World Tour coming through here for Franchise on the flank. But he misses the shot, and VQ survives.
VQ survives again. You know, it seems as if it's improbable. They shouldn't be surviving in those moments, but they do. And they always find a way to make it out. It's honestly insane. And now Hndles with that drop himself as he handed off the Precision. The opportunity's there, but actually Precision, he's like, I don't need it. I'm going forward. And, you know, I think at this point they're satisfied with defensively setting up. That's their moment.
They are. They worked hard there off that start. And the big difference is to kick off this round, VQ sent 5 up top. Rise ran a 4-1 focused on home hills. And Fran, he didn't cap any of the hills, but he had a long route to help his team out. And that was on the side of the map in which they didn't really have a right-hand advantage. They had to play it defensively. And VQ, man, they wanted to make sure that they acquired the power weapons, that they was able to slow this map down in their favor, keeping their advantages. And so far, it's looking good for them. They got a 50-point lead. They will lose their home hill in this moment, though. And they will not get, well, actually, they will get Rise's hill. And they got a 2v1 at B as well.
Well, 2v1 doesn't work out too well. Finish is going to be there. Fran is now gone. Icy looking like he might be gone as well very shortly. Inzem is going to be finished off. Acells is going to go at a dance. Emote in front of him, not even worried at all. And as well, we got the beatdown. And Blaze, this is where we need Colin, because Colin would be all over this. Why are you hitting yourself? I can't even do it. And Avexys also falls too. He's going to give him some extra love. And I don't know, man. I think it might be over with.
Like you said, get your shots in while you can. It's 4-0 for VQ, but I'm giving Rise the respect of it being a major, and I've seen them make comebacks like these before. Hell, they kicked off our first major with a 5-0 comeback on Vasgar. So, and they got the man to do it here, but they got to do it, right? You know, that was in the past. This is now, right? VQ ain't playing around, folks.
They won 4 straight rounds on Vasgar, map that we thought VQ would take for sure, right? The possibility's there, and you do have to give respect when respect is due. But I don't know. VQ is looking really well. They're looking really good at this point in time, and I genuinely have no idea what Rise can do to get the edge. And I've been asking myself, what do they do?
They got to just send 5 up top every round, 5 up top. But this time, Vanquish finally got the incendiary grenade. I like Fran challenging a 1v1 towards mid-map so his team can have a clean 4v4 up top. He's just got to have faith in them. You got 4 of the best slayers here. The flashes hit the back. Acells is going to get taken down by Rushiez. Rushiez does not get the second. The revive comes through for VQ, and the Wolf Pack is too strong.
Too strong indeed. Here we go. So the start is Rise is looking a bit rough once again. A couple players fall off. Vital Sam and Hndles are going to be up top. Reptilian gets away with the drop. And you got player number 8 kind of off in no man's land. It's going to be a tricky situation for him to get out of. I don't know if he's been spotted exactly. And if he hasn't been, he might be able to pick something up here. But I think they know he's there. But either way, yeah, okay. So Reptilian knew he was there. He says, enough is enough. You're getting out of there. I'm going to force you out. Button is about to get pressed onto Inzem, you'd have to assume, unless it's already been pressed, which I think it has. And VQ just finding a way. Where do they go? They want to get in here and take control again.
All right, Rise got 2 hills towards their name. VQ currently capping up E. 4 players in position on top of Rise's home hill to close this one out. Icy bouncing around. He has no other help, but Rushiez, and he goes down, folks. That is a 5-0 to VQ, and they move on towards the semifinals.
All right, 5-0. But hey, let's be real here. Rise put up a fantastic fight. I think a lot more than we were expecting to take that map Vasgar. And again, even though they lose the series, to know that they're still dropping down the loser bracket, they're going to be okay, and they have an opportunity to make it through there. But the fact that they take a map off of VQ, and with it being Vasgar, it's a powerful statement that shows that Rise has a lot of potential to make a deep run in the loser bracket and maybe even make it into grand finals. The possibility is there. But for VQ, again, they look unstoppable, Blaze.
They do. And after watching that map, I feel like I think I know one of Rise's issues here. All right. I date back to Gears of War 4, where there were so many big slayers on a lot of the teams in which Franchise is playing, but Fran always still played a front spawn and he was in the fight. I think Fran needs to be in that fight up top control tower, because when it comes down to making small adjustments to beat your opponent round after round and not run the same thing over and over, you need a guy with a good eye at the front of the fight to be able to identify that. I don't think anyone else in Rise was able to identify the slight changes that they needed to make in that tower. You need Fran near in those positions, and let one of your young slayers, go play his 1v1 position on the other side of the map and take control. But you need the big brain in the big fight.
I like it. Very well said, and maybe that is the case. Either way, we'll find out as they do go down to the loser bracket. Updates when it does come to our bracket here, though, is VQ does move forward to play Rebel. Rebel got that 2-0 versus Carnage. Noble was defeated 2-0 versus Pittsburgh Knights. So they for sure are looking different and poised and ready to go. And I got to say, winter bracket final is going to be shaping up to be a bloodbath without question. And UIU and F&I apparently are going to game 3. You're already in game 3, I do assume. I don't have
UIU is up 4-1 in game 3 on Bunker.
Okay, so it looks like we don't need to hop into that one. I think UIU is going to be okay. So with that being said, it might be a UIU versus PK. That's a crazy. But I'm not going to lie, Blaze. Again, it was a good series. It really was. I am impressed with Rise's ability to be able to take Vasgar despite them losing the series.
Yeah, man. It was a great series indeed. If you were if anybody was going to beat Vanquish on their best map, it was going to be Rise there on Vasgar with that curveball that they were throwing at them. But I don't think that you're going to get another curveball like that throughout this tournament against Vanquish. And they show how composed they are and how they came back in this one. Rise had them exactly where they wanted them. But in the end, VQ outslayed them on Forge.
And they outslay. That's the thing about them, is they outslay any team they go against, which is just their slaying power with their I think map prowess, their map ability to be able to make quick adjustments on the fly. That's what makes them so deadly, right? PK always had the slaying power, but sometimes they got carried away, and the respawn economy would then go out the window. VQ doesn't make mistakes. It's kind of like kind of a Frankenstein, if you will, combining so many different great components from amazing teams in the past and putting them all into one roster. That's kind of what VQ is. It's insane. It really is. Of course, the tournament will continue on. I do know that we have an interview with Vital Sim coming up with VQ, and Jordan's going to be conducting that. I actually hope she asked, was it a massive curveball for the drop shot in mid? Because I want an answer to that, Blaze.
Hey, I do too as well. I'm curious to know what Vanquish was thinking in that situation and how they plan to adjust, because they didn't want to fight Inzem down there. And they just chose to take the angles, and they stuck to their game plan. But in the end, VQ, I'm pretty sure they're going to go back and work on that one.
Well, they're going to have to, man, because now teams know they can place it there. But see, that's the thing that's so weird about it, is teams may know that could be a weakness for VQ, but teams don't necessarily know how to play that drop shot in mid. Like, how do you really go about it? It's so weird. We literally don't see it. And I'm convinced, by the way, Blaze, you had the insider information, man. There's no way you call that out of nowhere after not seeing it all in your casting career, and then all of a sudden it's there. Things are weird.
I do this, Taylor. Okay, like, I just do this, man. I have never seen anyone put the drop shot there, but for some reason, I just get these little inklings, these feelings about things that's going to happen throughout the map. And, I just seem to be on the same wavelength for these players. And it turned out to be a great call out, and it was a great map.
Hey guys, it's been a great series overall. We're now getting very deep into the winners bracket. Still more to come today. We're gonna hop off. Of course, Colin and Jacob are gonna hop back on. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Some more Gears action still to come.